I'm Phil.
And I'm Peter.
And that's Peter, and I'm Phil. And we're together! Welcome back to another episode of the Dodgeball Dudes, and today we are talking about the 5 levels of pump faking. But before we get into the how, let's talk about why is it important, what is a pump fake, and the scenarios you'd be using a pump fake.
Faking in dodgeball is the act of mimicking a real throw without actually releasing the dodgeball. When you start dodgeball, you probably didn't even think to fake because you're only told to throw, catch, or dodge, but faking is actually one of the most powerful strategies that you can utilize in order to overpower your opponents in many situations. So why is faking important? If we were to boil it down to 2 core reasons, the first reason would be applying pressure, and the second reason would be supporting your teammates. One of the biggest benefits of applying pressure is to draw attention to yourself. If your opponents are targeting your teammates, then you can apply pressure to take the pressure off your teammates and direct attention towards you.
You want to be known that you're on court, you want to know that you've got presence. You can release the ball if you want to, you will if you have to, and that will play in a big psychological part on your opponents.
Secondly, by faking and applying pressure, you can actually weaken the other player's throw. Let's say they're about to throw a ball and you do a fake, they will stuff up their accuracy because you made them flinch.
If you apply a lot of pressure and you put a lot of energy, the more energy you put into your fake, the more energy will come out of the fake in the result of them flinching, stuttering, going defensive, throwing less accurate, throwing less powerful, which plays in your favor.
Another reason to fake is to keep people on their feet, because if you aren't doing any faking or any pressuring, then people can just stand there being relaxed. In most cases, you want them to be on edge, but in some scenarios, people can actually be too relaxed and you can actually take advantage of those situations.
And if you're able to apply a lot of pressure, you may be able to bait out a ball. So for example, if you apply pressure in the way that they think that you are going to release a ball, someone will believe that they have a window of opportunity to counter you or punish you, so they'll throw at you, but in reality, you were never going to release your ball anyways, and you've just baited out a ball, providing that you can stay alive from the ball being thrown at you.
So the second reason why fakes are important is to support your teammates. When executing a play, doing a fake can help support your team by making the opponents do a pre-dodge. And by doing that, you're going to reveal the intentions of the players prior to even throwing at them.
To make them pre-dodge will also help your teammates do an accurate throw because you're revealing that player's intentions, that player's body language. If they pre-dodge to the left, your teammate can snipe them on the left-hand side.
Another thing with pump faking when supporting your teammates is, let's say you've grouped together, you've made a call, and you know who's going to throw. You don't want the other team to know who's going to throw. You want to confuse them and make them confused on who's going to throw by doing fakes and pressuring. And lastly, through faking, you can actually help to screw up the timing of the plays of the opponents.
If they were planning to throw 2 balls and you do a very convincing fake to screw up their timing, then you have made them throw 2 single balls at a 2 separate timing, which makes it a lot easier for you to dodge, or it makes it a lot easier for your teammates to stay alive.
So now let's dive into 5 common scenarios of when you would use a pump fake and why it's important in these situations. So the first scenario to fake is right before enemies are throwing the ball. So when enemies are about to throw the ball, on your side as the defense, you want to be pump faking and pressuring at the right time. Firstly, to screw up their timing, and secondly, to make their throw a bit less powerful when accurate. If there was no pressure, then they can just do whatever they want and not have to worry about anyone throwing back at them.
One of the tips that we said in our previous episode is to not release the 5th ball, because if you release the 5th ball, then you have a lot less pressure because you only have the one player with the 1 ball. Whereas if you have 2 balls spread to the wing, then you have the wings applying pressure, which means on the opponent's side, they have to watch their left side and their right side. So the second scenario is after the enemies have thrown. Your team is now in the advantage, so you have to throw the ball.
And what most teams will do is what's called a counter rush, where you run up as a team. 1 or 2 players will target a certain player with a ball and throw it at them. Let's say I'm the person who's running up on the right wing, then I need my teammates to support me through faking. And that will confuse the opponents to make it seem like they're going to throw, when in actual reality, I'm going to throw.
So the third scenario is before your team throws, which is very similar to the second scenario after the enemy throws. But in this situation, you're not doing a counter rush. Once you have the advantage, you're moving up towards the line, you want to draw attention and make a target pre-dodge, and you're setting up for your teammates. One of the differences between the second scenario and the third scenario is you have an opportunity to bait out an enemy's pre-throw. So if you do a convincing enough fake, they might think that you are going to throw the ball, so that they will try to punish you or counter you, and you've just baited out a ball. So you can do a play with an extra ball. The fourth scenario is after your team throws. After your team throws, we have to get back to the backline as fast as possible. The enemy team will be rushing at us, so you need to do convincing fakes to draw attention to yourself. 2, 1, cover your teammates. 2, potentially bait out a ball. And 3, to make their throws less powerful and less accurate because it makes it look like you're going to throw at them.
And the fifth and final scenario of when you would fake is when you're applying pressure for a ball. And this is a super common scenario in a dodgeball game, especially when you find that there's multiple balls or one ball near the middle line or on the opposite side of the opponents and you want to grab it, but there's going to be definitely a power play between your opponents and you. And by faking in this scenario, it helps to support your teammates by retrieving the ball with less pressure on them.
Let's say, for example, 3 balls aside, they need to throw, but their third ball is sitting on their court and you play enough pressure. They have to release 1 ball, and if they do release the 1 ball, only one enemy teammate will have 1 ball because the other ball is left in the center because you've applied so much pressure, so then they can't pick up that last ball. Don't let them pick up the third ball. Hydration
Stay
station.
hydrated, folks.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the 5 scenarios that you'll most commonly be in for you to fake, but there are also 3 bonus scenarios that you might find yourself in. So the first bonus scenario is when you're being shagged the ball by your teammates.
Actually, I don't even think people know what shaggers are. Some people
What is
might...
a shagger?
Yeah, that's a yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
So shaggers, they're your teammates that are responsible for passing the balls to you. 1 player at the back and 2 players on either side.
What the opponents might do is they might fake at you, and the purpose of the fakes is to prevent you from reaching for the ball or picking up the ball. And so let's say you're in that scenario as the faker, you definitely want to apply pressure at people who are trying to receive a ball that's being shagged, because that's just a bonus scenario where you can have a bit more court dominance.
The second bonus scenario is when the opponents are in a huddle. You can do a very big convincing fake, which would make them maybe not hear the call, or screw up their timing, or make them disperse. And whilst the ref is doing a countdown, they're all under pressure.
And the third scenario is when you have 1 ball left. So when you have 1 ball left and you have a lot of strong players on the court, let's say you have the playmaker, let's say you have a strong thrower, or potentially a really good dodger or something like that.
Or a big threat, or someone that's on fire.
Yeah, what the players might do if they have 5 balls is they might target that specific player by maybe throwing 3 balls at them. So if you are in a situation where your team has 1 ball, you want to pass that ball to someone who is a really good pump faker, and you want them to pressure as much as possible and draw as much attention to them as possible. By drawing so much attention, you're going to potentially bait out all those balls to yourself. And even if you get out, you're doing a huge service to your team by protecting the players who are really on fire or they're really good throwers.
Now that we've gone through all scenarios of faking, let's talk about the 5 levels of faking from the least effective to the most effective. Take a mental note where you're at and how you can get better. Level 1, the no fake. The no fake is when you have a ball in hand, but you don't do anything with it. You're literally just standing there with a ball and you're not doing anything with it.
Anything?
Anything? Yes, anything!
Anything. Make sure you're doing something, because if you're not doing anything, you're not providing any support, you're not providing any pressure, you're not supporting your teammates. So please do something when you have the ball in your hand.
Please. Level 2 is the I have a question fake. So level 2 is when you hold a ball in the air to establish your presence, but by holding up the ball, you're not actually doing much, you're just showing that you have a ball.
You need to do more than just bring your hand up into the air.
Level 3 is the lazy fake. The lazy fake is you're not putting any motion to your body, you're not doing anything with your face, you're just literally doing this.
Or you're just, very small energy. It doesn't do much.
Just don't do it.
Just don't do it as well. Do it if you don't have enough energy, I guess. But if you don't have enough energy, give it to someone that has more energy than you, so then they can at least do a better fake than the lazy fake. The 4th level of faking is the fake not looking like your real throw fake. What this means is you mimic a motion of throwing a ball, but doesn't resemble your natural throw.
Like if you're doing something that's different to your main throw, there's a higher chance that people will realize that it's not a fake because it's not like your real throw.
Unless if you are known to throw in all these different positions, then that fake is more believable. But if you're doing any other fakes that doesn't resemble your natural throw, then it's not a convincing enough fake. The 5th level of faking is called the real fake, when the fake looks like the real thing. Just like Peter here.
Wait, I'm not the fake. You're the fake.
Wait, aren't you the fake?
What the fuck? Oh, you need a hat then.
It doesn't matter anymore. At this point.
What is the logic?
There's no logic.
And the 5th level of faking is the real fake. And the real fake is essentially when you mimic the motion of your real throw, but you do not release the ball. And it's not just mimicking just the motion, there are also 4 other attributes that you need to consider. The first attribute is eye contact, second is facial expression, third is body language, and fourth is energy exertion. If you perform the real fake with all of these attributes matching your real throw, then you will have one of the most powerful and convincing fakes ever.
Rare scenario! The no ball fake is basically faking without a ball at all. But the key thing with the no ball fake is timing. Because after you do one no ball fake, everyone's gonna know that you don't have a ball.
One of the most effective times to actually use the no ball fake is when there's like a shift in dynamics in the court. Balls are being passed, or ball is rolling up to the court, people are being distracted, and maybe you don't have a ball. Do a level 5 no ball fake, and in some cases, you'll be able to shock the opponents if they're caught off guard, and you may have prevented them from picking up a ball that's rolling away from them.
You can prevent a ball rolling away from them. You can probably make them commit to a dodge. You can save your teammates. I think the key thing is just to time it properly.
Important! You need to make sure that you throw a ball every so often between your fakes. If you're constantly faking, eventually people will catch on and they'll realize that this guy's not going to throw or this girl's not going to throw, so I'm not going to worry about their fakes.
If you release the ball every once in a while, then you'll keep them on their toes and they will always keep an eye on you, so you're drawing attention and you can be a positive support for your team. But if you let go of the ball and you miss, then you're definitely not drawing attention to anyone anymore. So release the ball wisely. Note, if people know that you can throw in many different positions, then lower level fakes still may be effective. Also, don't forget, pump faking is also quite energy draining as well. A pump fake could also use the same amount or even more than a real throw. Make sure to condition your shoulder properly and make sure to not tire out and overuse your shoulder.
I think the beauty of faking is it's like a psychological game.
Yeah.
Whenever you fake and you successfully overpower someone, that's like a +1 to you and like a -1 to them. And the more you overpower someone, or the more someone overpowers you, the more dominance they have over you.
Yeah. Each set is a new set. So if you get someone out with a proper throw, in the next set, you can do a convincing fake and they'll definitely do a pre-dodge.
So what level of faking are you at? If you're still unsure of how you fake, or even if you're aware of faking, then it's good to record and review your gameplay.
If you are faking, is it convincing? Or if you're not faking and if you have a ball, was it a good time fake at specific scenarios? If you watch other teams' gameplays and see how they fake, when they fake, then you can adapt their faking techniques as well.
So that brings us to the end of the 5 levels of faking video. We hope you enjoyed it. We definitely enjoyed it.
Yup.
Especially being back in person together.
Yup.
Make sure you smash that like button. Hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to be notified for future videos when we release them. We release videos every Monday. And make sure you comment below any faking tips that you have to help out any new players who are new to faking. If you're just starting out in Dodgeball, then make sure you click this video right here, which is the 10 beginner tips that we recommend to Dodgeball players. And this will help you just to get started on your Dodgeball journey.
And if you'd like to watch some Dodgeball game analysis to help you get better, then click over here for a Dodgeball analysis playlist. Right here.
Right there.
Right here. Okay, I'm Phil.
And I'm Peter.
And we are the Dodgeball Dudes.
Stay awesome, and we'll see you in the next video.
Oh my god, we did it so good. I think so. Welcome back to the...
So why is faking important? If we were to boil it down to 2 reasons, then what would it be?
They will... What's the word I'm looking for?
I wasn't listening. Another reason to fake is...
Woof woof. So the third scenario.
the way the ball goes across the court, I guess. Is that right?
I wasn't listening. I was.
Okay, listen this time, right? And responsibility to support your team and to,
You know.
You know.
You fucking know. To yourself, you're not supporting anyone with anything, and you're just wasting a ball.
What a waste of society.
You. You no fakers.
Unsubscribe to 100 people.
You. Okay.
I love this. Maybe we should just have beer off with this part.
Maybe. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I'm done.
Forget about it.
The power of editing. Fuck it.